Are you looking to buy a project car? Do you want to go 9s at the drag strip and then drive home? Do you want a car that can rip on some local back roads and get 30 miles per gallon on the highway? What about a car that has a huge knowledge base and is extremely easy to work on? Look no further than the trusty old Honda Civic. A once cringe platform is becoming the grandfather of car modification, and its time on life support is soon to go out. Here's why you need to buy an EF, EG, or EK before it's too late. I don't really claim to be a Honda guy or even super knowledgeable about them, but I've owned my 1989 Civic Si for about 7 months now, and like any car guy, I did a ton of research before buying it. I bought it as a shell, did a junkyard engine swap, replaced every major suspension and brake component, and done lots of other work, so I feel like I have a fairly solid grasp on the platform at this point. You always hear about how Honda parts are super cheap and easy to find, and while this is true for some parts, like basically anything for the engine since a lot of parts were interchangeable, and some are even still used on modern K-Series cars today. Though the 90s was 30 years ago at this point, and Honda has stopped manufacturing a lot of parts. You can forget about refreshing your window trim unless you have a couple $100 to shell out to some dude on eBay that has a set in his garage for 50 years. Even used parts are getting harder and harder to find. As of 2023, EKs seem pretty common in U-Pull junkyards, but EGs and EFs are becoming an extinct breed. In fact, I personally had to wait nearly a month before I could get my hands on the stupid bracket for the trans mount on my EF, and currently no yards in my state list a single EF in their inventory. Take this with a grain of salt because parts are getting more scarce, but it is totally possible to get most of them for a reasonable price and shipping time, especially compared to the prices of German parts, for example. This brings me to my second point, which is that these cars are getting harder and harder to find on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace every single day. Deals definitely still exist, but they are nothing compared to prices in the last decade. Through my research, I've ran across many accounts of people getting VTEC B-Series swapped cars that are mint for less than $1,000, but nowadays VTEC B-Series swaps alone are selling for more than $2,000. If you want a not clean but not totally destroyed EF, expect to pay no less than $4,000. EG and EK expect around $6,000. I'm definitely not an expert in economics or the used car market, but there are a few different reasons why this could be the case. Most obviously, since the pandemic in 2020, used car prices have increased globally at a crazy rate, and a lot of people think this bubble will pop soon and prices will eventually go back down, and it might not work like that. Car culture has increased in popularity drastically, so now everyone and their grandma wants to buy a Civic again. Because of this, I think that even if used car prices go down back to normal, Civics and other tuner cars might remain to be inflated due to their high demand and decreased supply. Suppose a good deal on one of these cars pops up in your area. Should you buy it? Yes, and here's why. Sometimes Civics get a bad rap because it's very easy to modify them poorly.
JDM as fuck, throttle response, I let him fuck my knob.
If you can do your research, learn to do work by yourself, and have a little bit of cash to spend, then you can make a great handling, clean, and powerful little car. For example, with just about $600 of internals, an eBay turbo kit, and a fuel system, you can make about 400 horsepower reliably on a puny little D-Series single cam. Likewise, you can swap in a stock non-VTEC B-Series and make about 300 horsepower. Swap in a stock junkyard K-Series from a CR-V and you can quite literally make over 500 horsepower with no problems. Obviously, it's a little bit more difficult than this. You need all the supporting mods, a good tune, and other little things to make power like that. Outside of power, 90s Honda Civics use fully independent front suspension and trailing arm rear suspension. This means that these cars have the ability to handle excellent given proper parts, alignment, and tires. Additionally, the arm configuration is extremely simple, making it really easy to replace parts and conduct bolt checks. Many models even come from the factory with front and rear sway bars, and the ones that didn't come factory with sway bars can easily be upgraded with an inexpensive stock or aftermarket solution. Alright, now go out to Facebook for some good deals and let me know what you found. If you already have a 90s Civic, let me know if you agree with me or not. This video is mostly opinionated and it's totally up for debate. If you have any questions or criticism for me, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you found this video very enjoyable and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.